Welcome back to the channel, everyone. For today's video, we are going to be discussing my developing concerns around Ausar Thompson's availability for the Detroit Pistons this upcoming season. Now, earlier today, I was looking on the ESPN.com's injury report. You can go find this in the Pistons matchup with the Pacers on their website. There's an injury report section, and it says that Ausar Thompson and Bobby Klintman are both listed as out for the Pistons opening night game with the Pacers tomorrow or today by the time you're watching this. And I'm not surprised that those two are out. This video is about Ausar, so I'm not surprised that Ausar's been listed as out. We haven't seen him in the preseason. He was never going to participate in the preseason. Trajan said as much in his media day availability. So that it isn't a surprise to me that Ausar's out. But the reason I'm making this video is because I am beginning to now lean towards and come to the realization that Ausar Thompson probably isn't going to suit up for the Pistons anytime soon. Now, I'm not willing to rule out for the entire season yet, but the fact we still don't have an update on his clearance from the NBA Players Association and the NBA in general leads me to believe we probably aren't going to see Ausar. And it's really disappointing. But before I say anything else, I just want to flag Ausar's health here is the most important thing. And for those that aren't aware, Ausar Thompson, in roughly early March of this year, exited a game against the Mavericks. He played like a quarter and he actually locked down Luka Doncic. I've actually posted some reels before on my Instagram about how he held Luka to some crazy low field goal percentage and forced him into a heap of turnovers in that 1.25 of play. But Ausar left that game and there was never a report. He just left with an illness. Then about a week later, he was ruled out for the season with blood clots, I believe in his lungs or something like that. So blood clots are scary. We've seen NBA players, some NBA players come back, notably Brandon Ingram and Christian Koloko, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Koloko was the most recent one. He was waived by the Raptors last season and he's now signed with the Lakers for this season. But we've also seen players like Chris Bosh, career ended immediately, and there's been others. But I just want to flag that blood clots are extremely scary, and Ausar's health here is of utmost importance. And this decision, whilst I am kind of selfishly frustrated as a Pistons fan, we haven't heard anything. It clearly is a huge decision. The fact it's now been, I would say, 4 weeks since media day and we still have heard nothing. And this is probably something that's been going on for much longer, shows how serious this is. And which is why I'm concerned it's taking, the longer it goes, the less likely I think we see Ausar this season. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope we get a report tomorrow after the Pacers game that he's ready to go for the second game. But Ausar's health is number one here. If he doesn't play for the rest of the season, obviously I'm completely fine with that. If he doesn't play another NBA game, I'm completely fine with that. I won't even, I've seen people get angry maybe at Troy Weaver for taking Ausar and they should have known this. No, I will never have resentment for the Pistons taking Ausar at pick 5 because of an unforeseen issue with his health and something so scary. So I just want to flag that what I'm saying and the frustrations I have are purely as a fan and just wanting to see him on the court because I was, and still am, I shouldn't say was, it's not past tense yet, but I am extremely excited for not only Ausar's future with the Pistons, but particularly this season. I'm really excited to see the jump shot. And as you can see here, a clip, he's been working with Fred Vincent and you can already see the mechanical changes and just he doesn't have a hitch anymore, the follow through, the guide hand placement. He's now holding the ball with his shooting hand more aligned with his shoulders. And, it's some real improvement there, at least from a practice point of view. And on top of the jumper, I was excited to see the defense. I think Ausar's rookie season, it was quite up and down. His first 20 games, he was top 3 in Rookie of the Year conversations. He's putting up crazy numbers. And then he kind of fell out of favor with Monty and was coming off the bench. So it's an up and down season, but I think it was kind of easy to forget how good Ausar Thompson looked to start last season as a rookie. Um, and, I was so excited to see him with maybe an improved handle this season. This season I wasn't expecting him to come in with like a 35% three-point jumper, but I was expecting him to come back with an improved handle that could maybe open things up for him as a passer, and those kind of things. But, to still have no update is concerning, and it's disappointing for everyone involved with the Pistons, because Ausar is a guy I've spoken about on other podcasts and a bit on my channel here. Like, if he hits his ceiling, like, he does have the highest ceiling on this team. Like, a 6'7" wing with a 7-foot wingspan with hops like him. Like, it's crazy. His vertical is off the charts. Like, his rebounding ability, some of the playmaking, like the screen and roll, like, he can do so much on a basketball court. Like, that's the appeal of the Thompson twins, is they literally can do everything at a decent to good level, except shoot, of course. But like, there's so much potential there. And Ausar even spoke about this offseason, how he's looking forward to playing defense this season because he's more in tune with schemes and how to play defense at the NBA level. Like, he said last season he played, a lot of his defensive success just came from his raw tools and, athletic gifts. So I was really excited to see him. Like the Pistons need a lockdown wing defender. They don't have one. Ausar's their best perimeter defender, and it's not particularly close. Simone Fontecchio is okay, but they were really going to rely on Ausar for that wing defense as a baseline. So to not have him hurts. I know this team showed some really positive signs in the preseason, and I'm really excited for this season. But to lose your best perimeter defender and not really know when he's coming back is a concern. So I think I'll round out in saying, like, I hope everything I've just spoke about's wrong. I hope, Ausar's suiting up for the Pistons in the next, in game number 2 or in the next 2 weeks. But, the way things are trending, I'm kind of starting to think that maybe he sits out this whole season, or at least the first 40 games or something like of that sort. And they just try and get everything right for him to come back in year 3, because after all, he's only 21 years old, maybe 22. So there is such a long career ahead of him. And if that means he sits out this season, I'm fine with that. I hope I'm wrong. But the longer we do not hear an update regarding his medical clearance from the Players Association and the NBA, the more concerned I am about us seeing Ausar in Pistons colors this season. So let me know your thoughts. I hope I'm wrong. Prayers up for Ausar. Hopefully he can get back on the court and play 5-on-5 competitive basketball as soon as possible, because he's looked awesome in at least the footage we've seen as shooting and that kind of thing. So hopefully Ausar can get back. But that'll do it for today's video. As always, like, subscribe. Any support is muchly appreciated. Go Pistons.